Okay, everybody, this is like the third time I've tried to record the voiceovers. I don't know what happened to my original audio. TikTok's kind of ticking me off this morning. So we're going to go back over this again. We're going to start out with our KitchenAid bowl. We're going to zero out our kitchen scale. We're going to add 250 grams of warm water. And then we are going to add our sourdough starter discard, which is basically your unfed starter. My starter has risen and fallen overnight. And we're going to add 100 grams of that. Went a little over, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Next, we're going to add some yeast. A little pinch here. The last couple I've actually put too much in and they rose beautifully. In fact, I loved it, but today's batch turned out just fine with the amount of yeast I put in. I'd say it's at least a teaspoon, maybe a little more. Next, we're going to add 30 grams of sugar. That's going to help that yeast bloom along with that warm water and the discard. We're just going to give that a mixy mix. Next, we're going to zero our scale out and we're going to add our flour. Today, we're going to be working with bread flour. You could use AP flour for this, but I prefer bread flour. We're going to add 500 grams to the bowl. Went a little over, we're going to pull that excess out. Otherwise, your dough might get a little dry. And we want a nice, fluffy, moist dough. Next, we're going to add 10 grams of salt. We're going to put it in our mixer. We're going to put our stand mixer on low. Today, I'm using a spiral dough hook. I find that works a little bit better than the dough hook that came with the machine. I did purchase it separately. We're going to let that mix off and on for about 10 minutes. The KitchenAid mixer will bog down a little bit. So when you hear that bogging down, go ahead and turn it off. You don't want to burn the motor up in your KitchenAid if your dough is entirely too thick. As you can see, it's mixing. It's starting to pull away from the sides. I've turned it off. Now I'm turning it back on. You just want to make sure that dough pulls away from the side of the bowl. Your dough should be fairly pliable. I'd say almost like Play-Doh consistency, only it smells a hell of a lot better. And you can see those yeasts are already working as the dough is starting to spring back. And we're going to let that sit in a slightly greased bowl on the counter. And we're going to let it proof at room temperature for 90 minutes. And see the next video.